All right, Dusty Baker, we're tired of your stuff.
Dumb son.
Oh,
Ooh, you're lucky I don't like disrespecting my elders. But yeah, I'm getting real frustrated with you right now.
oh,
Doesn't it feel like it's a divide though? Because like we talked about it, it's like we as the younger people and like we criticize them, but the old heads they like praise him and they stick up for him. It's like, hold on, like this are we wrong or are y'all wrong? It can't be us because
yeah.
when you do what we say, it works. So what's going
It,
on here?
just looking at like lineups, the lineup with Kessinger and Jeremy Pena moving back into the two spot after you moved him down and he had a great game. That right there alone should be enough of an argument that we are not wrong. It your lineup and his reasoning it aggravates me more because he won't even give a good reason. Like the media themselves will be like, "Why'd you move him?" And he's like, "Oh, it's because I'm the manager." And it's like, okay, Gran Torino over here, like you're
Yeah,
over mad at everybody
it's
else.
like when
Like
you ask your parent why, and they were like, "Because I'm the parent." And that happened to me when I was young, and I realized it's like, okay, you're a dumbass, so I can't listen to you no more. You know what I'm saying?
and it's like if it worked, then it's like okay, we were wrong. But it was one of the worst offensive games we've seen from this team. Like one hit,
One
and
hit,
we
two
or two
yesterday.
hits, yes, two hits, yeah. But it was like ridiculous. Like, and the biggest argument is he's like, oh well, it's because they're getting Pena with the fastball and the slider. So then why the hell move him in a crucial spot when
Exactly.
we already seen him hit into a double play with one out? Then you move him out. He has a really good game, and then you put him back in there, and he strikes out. I don't know how many times, ground out, strikeouts, and then you move him
He
again for the
he
fourth
had an
time. And
error
now he's
today. He bobbled the ball. It's like Pena just has to work through that, which I don't worry about Pena because he struggled a little bit last year and he played his way through it.
yeah.
Granted, he was back at the two spot, but we were ahead last year and we're trying to play catch up now. And it's borderline ridiculous that the bottom of our lineup is outplaying the top. And with you at the two hole Pena, it's just not getting done.
And for me, that's my biggest thing is if Pena is gonna struggle because we saw this with Abreu. Everybody
Yes.
was like, move Abreu down, and I'll be fine with you. He struggles down there at the bottom. But now that we're having arguments with each other of moving Pena down, and people are like, oh no, you leave Pena up there because Dusty said so. How is it not the same? Abreu was having one of the worst times of his career. We told move him
Yeah.
down. He did. Guess what? He gets to move back up. We've
Mm-hmm.
done that with Bregman. We've done that.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't we doing that with Pena? Like, why are we changing stuff up because he was
Let me
MVP?
ask you this because this is something I just thought about. So we've pretty much been adults the whole time of this golden era of Astros baseball,
Yeah.
right? So are we nitpicking because we're spoiled and we expect the Astros to be dominant in a certain way and we just are not comfortable being behind? Or is Dusty really the problem? Because that's what started this conversation from the get go. Is Dusty a problem or are we just acting like little bitches?
I honestly feel like Dusty's the problem.
Yeah, I
It
think so, bro.
because it would be different if we were like in first place and we were losing just because of like little things here and there and all that. I'd be like, all right, we're nitpicking, but you have ground to make up and you have the Yankees that you're playing, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna take rest days for my guys to rest them for Baltimore, which is even harder team going in. And then it's like, but instead of resting like guys, you're putting them in spots that they don't need to be in. Like just pitching alone, like the way he uses his pitchers right now, I'm like, dude, you literally set your guys up for failure.
Yep.
Like every single time I feel like you're failing them.
Man, I don't want to be a Dusty hater, but I'm about to be. It's like I don't give a shit what people think you know. Because if you knew as much as people as you say you do, or you're this guru of freaking managing, there's a reason you haven't won before you got here.
You have one.
Yes, exactly.
You have one
And
more
I
than
know
all of
that
us.
we're not wrong, bro, because 4 days ago, we literally put out a video bitching that Jordan should be the number 3 hitter. It's like Jordan has always been the number 3 hitter. That's where Jordan is comfortable. Like that's something that should not change. The next day Tucker hits a home run and people are like, "Oh, see, you were wrong." It's like, no, just because Tucker is good doesn't mean I'm wrong. You move Jordan back to the 3 hole and he hits a home run the next 2 games. So I mean, the pitches he's seeing is different. He's got runners on base. You know what I mean? I know I'm not wrong on that. Just leave him there.
Yes, because we've already said it. Altuve will either get a hit, he'll get a walk, something. Bregman, he'll get a hit, he'll get a walk, something. Guess what? 2 people on base. Now that pitcher's sweating, and who's up to the plate? Jordan.
They literally had a statistic on the game today that said in the past 50 years, the top 4 batters of left-handed batters against left-handed pitching, of the top 4, 2 of them are currently on our roster. Jordan is number 1 and Tucker's number 3. I'm not trying to hear that we can't bat 2 lefties together. I'm not trying to fucking hear it. When the only person who's in between them was Barry Bonds, I'm not trying to fucking hear it. They can bat 3 and 4.
Exactly. And you see the damage they do. Even if one gets out, you got to worry about the next one right behind him. And it's just one of those things when it comes to Dusty, it's like, I don't get it because I can understand when things aren't working and you tweak it and you're like, all right, I got to figure this out. But when it works and then you change up everything drastically.
It's just like take for today, for instance. Jake the Snake Myers got 2 3-run home runs. That does not mean move him in the lineup. Like you leave his ass right where he is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He saved us today, but leave him there. That does not mean he should come bat 5. That doesn't mean he should bat 2. Like, watch. Yeah. I bet you Dusty moves that fool.
He's gonna be like 5 tomorrow. All right, well not tomorrow we're off, but when the Orioles are gonna be number 5 or something. And then he'll throw jokes in just for the hell of it, just to because he has to give somebody a rest day or some shit. Like I don't know. And
I implore you, real quick, because I'm thinking about it, to go find a clip of today's game when Dusty took Neris off the mound. I cussed a lot of adults under my breath, and I'm 1,000% sure that Neris called Dusty a motherfucker.
Yes.
He thought it at the very least. So I'm just saying, like, don't let the media shouldn't paint the narrative that everybody on the team loves playing for Dusty, because I'm questioning that. Like, I don't think that that's true. I think everybody on the team respects him, but I do believe that there is quite a few people who wouldn't mind having another manager.
And it's if you're an Astros fan, you don't see the favoritism. Just look at the Chas McCormik shit. Yep. Like, this dude is our center fielder. We as a fan base have claimed him as our center fielder. We're fine with it. And yet somehow people are okay with Dusty just, hey, I'm not playing you today, bro. Or, hey, I don't know, man. I'm thinking, Jake needs to be out there. Let's use Dubon in center field, and it's just like, why are we doing this? Like, why? Like, what is the hate for it? And there's something that we don't know, and that's fine. But I did see Hector Neris when he got off. And, I mean, Ump really messed up on the last call. It shouldn't have been a walk. It was.
That was a strike. But also, like, I know I'm about to catch some fucking hate for this. After today, I cannot play Jordan in left field. You're not good enough to play left field for me. That ball that he didn't catch, they hit him in the arm. Like, I know that was a tough catch, but the only reason that Pena didn't is because he was scared of your big ass running into him again. Yeah. I would have been so much more confident if McCormik was in left and Tucker was not the DH. It was Jordan. Like, I don't like that. You tried it, Dusty. I get it. Okay, don't do it again.
And you said it in game 1. I don't want to see him in left field at Yankee Stadium. And
at all.
He DH, and then left field, let's go, and all that. And it's one of those things where, especially come playoffs, it's going to be questioned, like, do I even move you into left? I guess at Minute Maid I can.
I'm okay with Minute Maid because he's really comfortable there and he knows Minute Maid. And there's another reason that I also would take Jordan at Minute Maid, and I guess this would work at a couple other places. There's not a spot in left field that he can't fucking hit home plate with the ball with. Like, this dude can throw. So, like, that gives us a good chance, too. But like on the road, I can't do it.
Yeah,
There's no way we
especially
could go to like to Tampa or something or Texas and you play left field. No, I don't like that at all.
yeah. I'd rather keep that to Jolks, Myers,
You
McCormik, somebody.
did you also notice in this Yankee series, and it kind of pissed me off because it's like I still see what we are. They went after Aaron Judge. Like they were blowing fastballs by him, like um, curveballs low down and inside. And I was like, all right, why are y'all getting up for this one guy? But y'all can't find the strike zone against anybody else. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
So
and
frustrating.
it comes back down to all blame we can't just put on Dusty. It has to be on his staff also on what's going on with them. I mean, we've seen a lot of injuries this season. We've seen the pitchers go from top bullpen to arguably a questionable bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen bats go from 17 runs to zero. So there's so much inconsistency as a whole. And I'm hoping when October comes around and everything starts to get more into this is set,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to set in more. But we've seen it before as the season when Dusty makes a change and arguably two of your best players are like, no, we're not doing that. Alvarez and Tucker are like, no, this is how it's going to
Yeah.
be. That kind of tells me something where it's like, okay, Dusty, do you really know what you're doing, or do you? Are
That's what
you?
I'm saying. Like if the rumors were true and Jordan went and said that and Dusty just went with it, that's a cop out.
Yeah,
That's a cop out by Dusty because you have to know that that was a bad idea.
and and the other thing that I don't like about Dusty is he doesn't protect his players as much as I would like. Like, I'm not saying go out there and get kicked out of the game every single time, but I remember that game with Ryan Stanek where legit Dusty should have been out there to protect him,
Mm-hmm.
and he just let him get kicked out of the game, and then you went out there to save face and got
You and
kicked
I
out.
had this conversation months ago. It's like he don't stick up for his people. Like he's not
Yeah,
about it. He's not about that life, and that's
no,
the problem. Because I see Joe Espada keep popping his head up, and it's like, all right, I see somebody who does want to bark.
yeah, and we said this last year. The players, they have a weird vibe to them. Like it feels like Dusty's the don't do this, don't do that, you know. And when that one time when Espada took over, man, they were
It's
bat
like
flipping.
it's like when your parents send you off to your family's house, and then like your grandpa's there, and you be respectful, but you got that uncle who'll give you beer when you go to the backyard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just out of respect for Dusty at this point, and I think that nobody's speaking up, man. I really feel that way.
Yeah, and last year was the whole story and narrative was everybody was doing it for Dusty. Now
Yeah,
you did it, so it's kind of like, what's the narrative now? Like,
what's Dusty doing for y'all?
yeah,
Shit,
and I mean, the joke aside is a lot of people are like, oh, he got his ring, he doesn't care, and it's like, yeah, I've seen that because they asked him
feels that
one
way.
time, hey, what do you think of the lineup? He was like, oh, I don't know, I was at the Red Hot Chili Pepper concert. And it's like, yeah, it's funny, but we're losing, bro. Like, figure it the hell out, dog. Like you're not Greg Popovich, bro. Like you're not up there with that shit. So I need you to figure some shit out, dog.
I remember saying, I said, this is Dusty's gonna have to do real manager shit now, and it just feels like he's not doing it. I don't want to keep fucking beating a dead horse, but he gotta go. Even if we win a World Series, he gotta go.
Do you think this is last year with us?
I think it is. I don't think Dana Brown likes him very much,
I think that they are butting heads so bad.
and we're not hearing about it.
We're not hearing about it just from the stuff that they say, like to the media. It's one of those where it's like,
In this instance, Dusty's fucked because he had Crane in his pocket last year because Clint was probably on his way out anyway.
yeah.
Dana just got paid and he got some years, so he ain't going nowhere. So Dusty, you might have picked a fight again that you're not gonna win.
And Dana has more World Series than you, bro. Hey,
Yes, and I think that there are good coaches who might want to coach for Dana.
yeah. AJ,
Hey, I would not hate that, bro. I wouldn't hate that at all.
bring him back to Houston. We miss you, bro. Hey. Um, all we're trying to say is people don't look at Dusty as the savior
Savior.
that we have last year. It's okay to question the stuff he does, especially when it doesn't work at all.
Or makes
And
sense, or you know
and
that it's wrong.
and it doesn't take Blummer and them. It doesn't take Fox. It doesn't take ESPN and all them to say it for you to be like, oh yeah, that's true. You're a fan. We have a right to say these things, and we
Yeah,
definitely are going to say these things.
because we
And
live in the United States of America, the greatest country on the earth, and one thing we can't do is question anything.
yes, especially with how much merch Zach buys, he definitely has.
Exactly. You can think for yourself, people. It's not illegal yet. So before the AI does it for us, think for yourself.
But Houston fans, let us know what you think. I did ask the poll on Facebook, which I'm not surprised of the numbers. I did ask, do you trust Dusty Baker's lineups? It has 174 votes. 56% say no, 44% say yes. That number drastically changed after this Yankees game, also.
Wow.
Yes, it was a lot more on no. So we'll keep seeing how this thing pans out and everything else. How he uses the lineups going forward in playoffs, rotations. But yeah, next up, Orioles, tough team.
Yeah, it sucks. We're
Hopefully,
going through a tough part of the lineup, and the Rangers got easy shit. They're going to play the Athletics. Get out of
I
here.
know. Well, time to prove it, or at least stay in the wild card.
For some reason, we always play good against good teams, so I ain't worried about the Orioles. Like, I think we'll show up. Just got to win the series.
Framber, you're up. Need another good one, bro. Well, Houston, it's a hot one out there. Stay hydrated still. Make sure you like, subscribe to the network right here. Bayou City Boys got you covered on all Houston sports. We make sure to do a lot more Astro stuff. Now that Rocket season's over, we've been doing a lot more Texan stuff.
And questioning everything.
Yes. Be on the lookout for our merch stuff coming out. We got a few things coming up. But that being said, we are out of here. Later, Houston.
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.